All right, guys, we've made it out to the Mecca of car shows. We are at Power Tour in the Pensacola stop. Wanted to be here and wanted to do the whole thing, maybe next year. Had other family obligations, but we're here, so let's get in there and go see some cars.
We're driven by Continental. If you can at this time, turn around, look at the eBay Motors main stage. And if your name is Hazen A. Nelson, Hazen A. Nelson, please come on over to the main stage. We essentially have your life in our hands. By that I mean your debit card. Hazen A. Nelson, come on over to the eBay Motors main stage.
Alright guys, it's sad but true that this may be the very future of hot rodding right here. I have to admit, you can't beat the instant torque delivery. The only thing I wish I could see is this thing go down the track. This thing is insane. And if you guys remember in the 80s when the little Rampage came out, well, I think they may have stepped it up just a notch. This thing is nice.
That's why we're sick and sad.
Taking pictures.
I've got a car that looks like it belongs to me. DD Talk. And the first thing is after you tell me who they say Corvette. Good job. Come here. We got prize for 73 54 converted the last year of the Chrome.
My name is Dwayne Smith. We've got a 2003 Mini Cooper S that is now a Mini Cooper SS. I started out with the idea of possibly putting in an LS in it. Didn't know that, thought this thing could end up in a junkyard because there's some pretty big hurdles to cover. And I had 7 good small blocks laying around, and I thought, heck, I've got a good small block, I'll put that in. And started out with a dummy block, dummy transmission, gutted everything out, cut out just enough firewall to get the block in and the transmission in. Then worked on all the angles, height, depth, everything else to where I wanted it to be. Then start adding parts. Put on a set of cylinder heads, cut out what you need for that. Put on the valve covers, cut out what you need for that. Distributor, which was pretty tough because it sits way back in there.
Way back, right.
Now I do have to pull off the wires, I do have to pull off the cap and the rotor, and then I can just sneak it out, but I can still get it out.
That's all that matters, is you can get it out.
One of the bigger hurdles was the front cross member. The Mini has a wide, flat cross member, and because the engine sits forward, the rack and pinion sits behind the engine and above the cross member. Well, it'd be through the middle of the block on this. So I grafted in a BMW front cross member and rack and pinion. And then I had to build my own steering arms, which that was a challenge because obviously it's got to be safe and it's got to be proper, and I do road race the cars, so I want it to be I want it to be safe. So that was one of the big hurdles. Of course, putting in the complete BMW independent rear end, a fairly big challenge. But once I was able to get a hold of the factory drawings of both the BMW and the Mini, lay out everything on the floor, square everything up to the car, and once I had all the bolt locations for the changes, I lasered everything from the floor up to the car, determined where all the mounts and everything were going to go. I've got another BMW that's got an LS3 in it, so I just measured where was the ride height, where was the differential off the ground, so on and so forth, until I determined where the diff was going to be mounted. I did have to bring the control arms to get them level. I had to bring them down, I believe, about 3 inches from the body. But it all fit in there. It's a very similar layout than what the Mini actually came with stock. Similar. Not exact, obviously, but similar. But,
how long did it take you to build the car?
About a year and a half. Or, excuse me, about a year.
Okay.
About a year. But again, it's got power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, heat, all the comforts of home. The only thing I really lost was the anti-skid. I just couldn't get it packaged anywhere. Plus, the reluctor wheels are different front to rear, and it would be a mess to try and get that worked out.
To get
exactly. So I said that's out. But otherwise, even the airbags work.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you driven this the whole power tour, or how much of the power tour you done?
No,
you long haul?
Yeah, we did it all the full long haul last year, doing full long haul this year. We drove 14 hours to the first venue last year.
So where are you from?
Northwest Arkansas.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you talking with me, man. You have a great car.
Thank you,
awesome.
Appreciate it.
Well, let me out of here.
Yeah, get me out of here.
No, that's okay. I just...
Oh yeah. It's gonna be a long mower. He's gonna go over there and down to the front. If he ever gets here. It's pretty much right. It's gonna take long. I think it's a long one. Yeah, we can do.
My name is Shaffer Rigdon. We have a 1965 Comet 404 wagon. It's got a small block 331 stroker with a 5-speed, 4.9 rear end, short and narrowed. Took the hand crank that used to have back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Put an electric window in the back.
Okay.
Electric motor. It's power steering. Car gets about, so far in this power to I've averaged between 16 to 18 miles a gallon. Built
Sweet.
this car for my wife and our kids.
Sweet.
Yes, sir.
And where are you from?
We are from Clemson, South Carolina.
Okay. All right.
Doing a long haul power tour.
I'm not throwing no shade, but roll tide.
I hear you, man.
All right, well, we're fixing to go into the main car parking area. We hadn't even made it to there yet. As you can see what's behind me, the Motor Trend sign. And like I said, we're fixing to go into the main area, try to meet some more people. So let's go.
My name's Richard Douglas, and we're coming from Messina, New York, which is right at the Canadian border. Messina sits right on the St. Lawrence River. So we started out last Friday is when we started out on our way to Memphis, and we've covered so far between getting to Memphis and the power tour over 2,000 miles.
Okay. All right, well, tell me what you was telling me earlier about this car.
Yeah, so I got this car about 6 years ago. A guy had bought it at the auction, and he had a junkyard, and it had sat for many, many years. And so he got the car running, and then I bought it, and I kind of took it to the next level, which was really to replace all the brake lines, put exhaust on, tires, you know, a lot of little stuff, but I did not restore the car at all. It's a Survivor, original paint, original drivetrain, and it runs great. We just turned actually 91,000 miles on the car on the trip.
Okay.
And does everything work on the car? No, it doesn't. It's like, if you remember when you were younger, you buy an old used car, the gas gauge didn't work, you know. Well, right here, the solenoid acting up, so I ran this wire here. You touch it to the positive thing, and the car starts. The gas gauge doesn't work. The odometer doesn't work. What else doesn't work? Oh, this door stopped working, so you can't open that door. You know, it just.
So you got some. In other words, you got some things to do when you get back home.
Or not do it, or just keep going, keep driving. To me, you know, the antique car hobby is. I look at it as a big pen. You know, there's a lot of people. You know, on one side you got people who, you know, do frame off restorations. You got rat rods over here, and then you have people like me that just drive the Survivors. Just drive them. I love to drive the cars. I mean, every one of my cars is registered. I have three antique cars registered on the road, and I drive them all the time. This car I've driven 15,000 miles. I've got a 65 Rambler Marlin that I've run 25,000 miles in the last 3 years. To me, that's the fun of it. You know, getting with family and friends and going out there on the road, because in my opinion, they're cars. They need to be driven.
Sir, I must say you are a hero in this car industry, in the old car industry. We need more people like you. I will say that.
Thanks.
And I appreciate you talking with me.
Yeah, okay. Great.
By the end of today, all this is going to be filled.
Unchopped, unchanneled, basically stock body car, it appears, with a Coyote 5.0. (1953) Ford, as best I can tell. I'm pretty sure it's the 53. This thing is sick. South Carolina. Backup lights, both sides. If you don't know, that is a rare option for the backup lights, especially having two of them. All right, well, we're waiting on my buddy to show up. He just got here. Got to get the car parked, and he's going to be heading this way. H.G. Shelton from Left 4 Dead Garage. Be up here in just a minute. Finally made it.
What a long trip. How you doing? Doing all right?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, man, I'm HG.
There's my camera guy. He's trying to do it all.
Oh, man.
He melted.
Too bad. I figured we survived the Nashville. This is everything else should be cake. That was a disaster.
This here, you said we had 111 today.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks 111.
I don't know what he did. We said why.
They said talked to some other people. They said there's 111 in Nashville.
I know it. Memphis bought 112. What you saying that one day?
112, 113. Memphis. And you're out here.
Yeah.
Bare ass asphalt.
Yeah, then we got stuck in traffic on like fresh asphalt. So I mean, you know, it was even hotter.
Y'all need to go that way. Just to the right of the building, straight through. Hello.
Absolutely.
Dan the man,
what's up,
Brian, Real World Garage,
What's up,
brother.
buddy? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't complain. A little hot down here, but we made her.
Yeah, well, you know, this is part of the country I'm from, so I'm kind of used to it.
Well, I see that. You're not a drop of sweat on you, yeah.
No. A little misty. So,
Yeah, it's hot here for
so have you
us.
had any problems with the car?
So far, so good.
I saw the few repairs you had to do in the parking lot.
Yeah, no big deal. That was
No,
mellow.
that's maintenance, man.
Yeah, I could have just topped it up, but I thought instead of leaking all over everyone's parking lot, I'll fix her up for them.
Danielle,
Hi.
can I get a hug?
Of course.
Good to meet you, son, Brian. Real World Garage. You see me on the lives.
Yeah, I sure do. I sure do. How you doing?
Doing good.
Are you overly hot today? Are you okay?
This is I'm normal. This is make sure you're in frame. Yep.
Oh, God.
You know the deal. You know the deal. This is
Drink
YouTube.
down.
You know the deal. You swing camera for this guy. You know the deal. Yeah, I'm from this part of the world. I ain't melting.
Okay, so you're good.
I'm
You
good.
got it.
Look, I got some guys over here watching the camera back for me. I just wanted to holler at y'all.
Yeah,
It's good to
so
see you.
Nice to meet you in person.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the lives.
Absolutely.
One quick question. How many cars do you really build a year?
Oh, jeez.
I don't keep track. The problem is I'm rebuilding cars now.
And my last question, and I'll leave you be. What do you do for a living besides build these cars at home?
Oh, I just turn wrenches.
You're a mechanic. Okay, me too. That's what I do for a living too. All right, brother. Love the stuff. We'll see you.
No problem. Thank you. God bless. Yep, you too.
All right, so this gets to complete the rest of the crew.
What's that?
Zip tie drag back in 2017.
Yeah.
I think it was 17. Freiburger, Dulcich,
Where at?
Milligan. Milligan? Milligan?
Yeah, in Memphis.
Yeah. When they had zip tie drags up there, I got to meet those guys, so I get to complete the journey and
We were
meet
there.
you guys. Didn't see you guys. You weren't
we were
in the
nobody.
autograph tent. You were nobody then.
I'm
And
telling
see,
you
look at you now.
We still are nobody.
That was,
so don't
that
get
was the first event I ever did for Motorspin. What's that day?
Really?
Yeah, we were
Never-
pushing NASCAR.
Him and I both. We were out there. We changed the
Changing
oil
oil
and
and all
Stubby
the
Bob,
cars.
NASCAR.
See, you were working behind the scenes,
Yep.
and they got to be the front men.
Yep.
Okay.
We hauled west with it.
All right, well, that's my YouTube channel. Get
I've
you
heard
guys
of
to, seriously,
I've heard of that.
sweet, like to be heard of. Get you to sign it.
Absolutely.
Find somewhere that ain't sweaty.
Yeah, find somewhere that's not sweet.
Right.
Yeah, right under the circle or a little bit.
Let's go right here.
Oh, here you go. Grab over here. I'll do it on this side. This ain't sweaty, is it?
No.
There you go.
We'll steal that and we'll get it in.
Where you want?
Wherever you want it, just not on the nip.
Where you want
Belly
it?
or can I go right over cotton by chance?
How can I turn this into a penis? You know, I used to like you.
Anywhere outside, anywhere, but
I used to like you. Not no more, Daniel.
no, it's
It's
always
ours.
put the cap on the front.
You can have one. Isn't that great?
I appreciate it.
You can have it.
Thank you.
You had them like, you can take a couple. You want to?
What? What's happening, guys?
Hey, how y'all?
Who's the owner of the Pink Slam?
They're not here right now. I think they're walking around getting their stamp and a few things.
Well, I just had it on my YouTube channel on video. McLean's Car Show. So we're from up there. So
We'll tell them after they get home that way their head will
that thing is fine. wish the owner was around. I'd like to talk to him about this. This Sasquatch looking here fella.
Yeah. How's it going?
Going good.
Can't complain at all.
Other than,
well, yeah, but it's better than freezing cold.
I'll give you that. I couldn't deal. See, I lived in one of these. So it's not that big a deal. It's hot.
Yeah.
What Joe used to deal with the snow, the ice.
Yeah, there's a reason I moved. It's tough when you have to set a cooking timer to 3 minutes, and that's when your fingers go frostbite. You start losing it. It's tough to work on cars.
Oh yeah, I've done it. I'm a mechanic myself. We had a cold wave come through, and power was out of the facility.
Yeah.
And I had to go out and change the water pump outside. I'd done it. I couldn't feel my fingers anymore. I had to sit down in the car, warm my fingers back up, go back.
Yeah, go back out.
But I appreciate everything you do. I knew you were genuine when I saw what you did with the snowblower for that young lady.
Oh yeah.
Way back, you took it back. So I know you don't do that. I know you don't. That's how I was raised too. It's encouraging to see it.
So thank you for the kind
This
words.
video, this is my channel, Real World Garage. I do used car stuff.
Cool.
So,
Awesome.
interviews at the car shows. So.
That's cool. Well, hey, if you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that and ring the bell so you know the next video is coming out.
Look, I can get you signed. I think it's red. I don't know if it'll show.
I go right on that button.
If it'll see.
All right.
Hey.
I got to play with your chesticles for a second. Hang on.
Okay, just leave the nips alone.
There you go. Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Want to get a photo? Yeah, let's do a photo real quick.
One like that.
And do the Instagram.
One like that.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Alright guys, that's going to about wrap it up. This was Power Tour Pensacola Stop 2022. There's so much more to see, so much more than you can do in how long have we been here? 4 hours. We're at 111 degree heat wave right now. It's a flat give out. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if this is the kind of content you like. As always, thanks for coming to the Real World Garage.